Hello, everybody, and welcome to Two Canadians Football Podcast. I'm your host, Matty P.
And I'm his co-host, C Chris Miller.
And we are here with episode number 10.
10, double digits.
Oh, yeah. Let's get straight to the news. Brian Robinson is back at practice.
Great news. Good to see the rookie has survived and is looking like he might be able to play this year. That's great news.
So all you Brian Robinson IR stashers like me, he's still got to be there for the first 4 weeks, but that's good to see him at practice running drills.
Yep. Get your popcorn ready. Let's see what the rookie's got.
And in other news, TJ Watt of the Steelers is placed on the IR with a torn pec.
Yeah, I feel like that was inevitable. It's the same injury that Danielle Hunter had last year, which forced him to require surgery and miss basically 11 games of the year. It's too bad. It's unfortunate. TJ Watt was looking really good in that game again. That defense is going to be tough. Even without him, that's still a tough defense. They got a lot of playmakers. Minka Fitzpatrick, very good. No, not anything pressing. I think that was about all we had for now.
Did you like what you saw out of the Minnesota Vikings?
I absolutely loved it. I was on cloud nine watching that game. That was exactly what I hoped for / kind of expected, but usually what I expect is maybe has a bit of bias. And so it might rise to levels that can't be actually achieved by the Vikings, but this past week they actually lived up to pretty much everything I expected.
Yeah, they looked good from an offensive standpoint and defense standpoint.
Yeah, both sides of the ball looked really good. I mean, Green Bay was missing both of their tackles and their number one wide receiver, so keep that in mind, but their number one wide receiver is not it's not Devontae Adams anymore. So it's not going to make as big a difference as it would for a guy like that. The two tackles is kind of a bigger deal because the Vikings defensive line just ate. They only rushed 4 generally, and we're getting home a lot of pressure.
Yeah, they looked fast.
Yeah, and Zadarius Smith is a total stud. He looks good in Anthony Barr's old number.
Yeah, happy 30th birthday, Zadarius, and welcome to the team.
Yeah, he was happy. He was really, really happy with how that went.
Yeah, it was nice to see the new head coach and all the new coaching staff get their first W.
Yeah, on the offensive side of the ball, I mean, Kevin O'Connell has taken those Rams concepts, applied them to the Minnesota offense, and it's just a thing of beauty. It's looking really good. And we just barely got a taste of Dalvin. I mean, he was not the focal point at all. It was all JJ. I do think that the next couple of games, teams are going to adjust big time to that and actually, try and cover JJ, like, never let him run free like the way it ended up working with the Packers. But the wide open areas of grass that Jefferson was seeing was, unfathomable. Really, that won't continue for the rest of the year, but he'll still have the odd one just because of the concepts and the way they run their routes and combination and stuff. The wide receivers and you do have to account for the Vikings wide receivers. Adam Thielen and KJ Osborne are not just decoys. Like, they can make plays too, so you can't just let them run. And when the DBs have to make a choice, I think now the choice is always going to be Jefferson. So in the following weeks, you got to look forward to some points getting put up by KJ and Thielen, I would expect.
If you had to pick a favorite play of the game, would you be able to do that?
My favorite play of the game was on defense. It was when Zadarius Smith absolutely destroyed AJ Dillon in the backfield, and then on his way to crushing Rodgers, it was like 4 players meeting at Rodgers at once, and they just crushed him. And Dalvin Tomlinson recovered the fumble. I think it was Hicks, Zadarius Smith, Tomlinson, and there might have been one other guy in there too, all basically having a sit down at the quarterback.
Yeah, that was a great play. He just got crunched.
Oh man, yeah, that was a hard hit.
If I had to pick a favorite play, it would have to be that goal line stand there.
Oh yeah,
Fourth and goal.
Yeah, again, Zadarius was big on that play too. He came around the backside.
And because he doesn't have Devontae Adams, like that's his go-to usually at the goal line, right?
Yep. Yeah. Very good defensive play as well. On offense, if I was going to pick one, it would have to be the JJ touchdown when he gets wide open and cutting across around the 20. And then it was just a drag. He was just going slower initially, and Thielen and KJ were giving her, crossing up to the other side of the field. And then they just took the safeties with them. And then JJ was slowly coming underneath, wide open, cuts it up, touchdown.
Hell yeah, that was a great game, and we are definitely looking forward to the Monday nighter between Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, I predict that could be a preview of the NFC Championship game. I think the winner of this game might be the representative in the Super Bowl. I do think the Rams are going to have a say in this by the end of the year. I think they just came out against a tough team. But if they don't look better in the next couple weeks, maybe the Rams are on the way out, and these are going to be the next two. I think Detroit is going to be a lot better than people are thinking right now, too. They put up a lot of points at Philadelphia.
Hell yeah. So let's get to our segment here, Duds and Studs.
Studs and Duds.
Roll up the buds. So for my first stud of the week, we got to go to the man, Justin Jefferson.
Hell yeah.
Could have easily been named the offensive player of the week, right?
Definitely. He had 184 yards, 2 touchdowns, new franchise record for a Vikings receiver, personal career best for Jefferson as well. Just a heck of a game. And he did most of his damage in the first half. I don't know if the second half that Green Bay clamped down on him more, or if they were just running more and trying to, chew clock more so. But yeah, huge game for Jefferson. I'll give a stud here. I'll give a stud out to Saquon Barkley. He was nominated Offensive Player of the Week. A big game for him. He's looking rejuvenated, looking fresh. He's finally 2 years off that ACL injury that took him out 2 years ago. Last year he just didn't seem quite as effective as he had been in the past. This year he is looking really good. So that's exciting for anyone who is holding Barkley this year.
194 total yards, including a touchdown and 6 receptions for Mr. Barkley.
Yeah, and a fumble and a 2-point conversion.
So he's doing it all, guys.
He's filling that stat sheet. Just get him to throw a touchdown, and then that's pretty much it.
Saquon might even buy you a beer after the game. For the next stud, I got to go with the guy, Devontae Adams, your number 3 receiver on the week. 17 targets, double-digit catches, including a touchdown.
Yeah.
Nice to see Carr connecting with his college roommate. I don't know if they were roommates, but, teammate.
Teammates for sure. Might have been roommates. I don't know.
Well, we will get some info, and we will let you guys know if that ever happened.
Let us talk to our inside info.
Our multi-million-dollar agents.
Yeah. Yeah, big game for Devontae. Looks like nothing changes for him. New quarterback, same targets. He should be in for a big year.
I guess we have to also mention the 5 TD thrower in Patrick Mahomes. He made it look real easy against the Cardinals.
Boom. Yep. Yeah, not much changes there. He's still Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, he's just such a stud. He's so good.
Speaking of Pat, we're watching the Chargers-Chiefs game right now. Chargers are up by 3 in the third quarter. It's a doozy. It's a close one.
Yeah, division battles. This AFC West is going to be awesome to watch this year.
You know your boys rooting for the Chargers, so let's go LA.
Yeah.
As for duds, the disappointments,
Yeah.
the players you had high hopes for, maybe you put a lot of capital into.
Maybe now you dropped them already.
Hopefully you didn't drop them because
Yeah, because these guys were probably high picks, so you just got to hope for better for this next, the rest of the season. But maybe they just had a bad opening game. Or
it's
something.
also the bottom. You can't get much worse.
Yeah, and it's only up from here, baby.
So I got to go with CD Lamb. I drafted him approaching the NFL season, and I drafted him 2 leagues, put some high capital into getting him, and it was Dallas looked like that lost team that was in the playoffs last year and one and done. They just put up 3 points in the first half, and CD didn't get many targets at all, and ultimately Dak hurt his finger too. So
Yeah, there's a lot of bad for this Dallas Cowboys team. It didn't look good at all. I don't know if it's just the competition. Tampa Bay, maybe that defense is, it is a pretty good defense. So maybe that was what was so stifling for them. I don't know, though, because there's a stat out there about Tyrone Smith, the difference he makes on the left tackle position for Dallas and when he's in versus when he's out. And when he's out, it's not good, and he's out for a little while here. So it might be a long season in Dallas, which might lead to my bold prediction of Sean Payton arriving next year looking pretty good.
the next dud got to go to the first game of the season, Buffalo at the Rams, the Thursday nighter. We actually have 2 players from this game. Cam Akers.
Yeah, rough one for him.
Ended up with 0 fantasy points.
A big fat goose egg. That hurts for people who took him in the running back dead zone there. He was a risky pick to begin with. I don't have him on any of my teams, but yeah, I saw that. I felt bad for my dad. He has him in one league.
And also Allen Robinson.
Yeah, that one you could just chalk up to the first game together between Stafford and Robinson. Tough defense. Matt just felt more comfortable throwing to Cooper Kupp the whole time because he just knew where he was going to be. Doesn't have much rapport with Robinson yet. So that one could get better, but I'm definitely a little bit concerned on how that looked for this. But again, Buffalo, tough defense.
Allen Robinson finished with 1.7 fantasy points on the night.
Big ouch.
Do you have any more duds that you want to talk about, Miller?
I was pretty disappointed in Kyle Pitts this past week. 7 targets, which is decent, but only 2.9 points, I believe. That's pretty rough for a guy that you probably drafted fairly high at the tight end position. That was looking like a possible Kelsey touchdown, and now he might have fumbled. I don't know what happened there.
Big catch for Kelsey at the 2. And he was slammed on the ground. Football popped up. Chargers recovered it. But it looks like it's still Chiefs' ball.
Oh, they're saying he's down. Must have been a football or a wrestling move.
It did look like one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he was definitely down.
So Kyle Pitts, 2.9. 2.9
Kyle Pitts,
fantasy points for
yeah,
Mr.
disappointing
Pitts.
for sure. Expect bigger things moving forward. But, yeah, tough one.
It's a weird stat line considering like the score in the game.
Yeah, exactly. And Saints, I don't know. I mean, they do have a decent defense, and Atlanta doesn't have much else though, so I expect him to do more moving forward. He should continue to see a lot of opportunities.
Any more duds or studs? Any shutouts?
I mean, that Chicago-San Francisco game didn't give us much. The weather kind of killed that one, so there were a few duds in that game.
Yeah,
but
Cole Kmet and Mooney.
Right, yeah, both of them.
One catch between them.
Rough. But yeah, that one, maybe we write off that one and we judge both those teams a little more critically this upcoming week. Not a ton on the waiver wire this week, and some small ads, but nothing to blow your fob on.
Fab.
Let's
get fabulous. All right, and now for our next segment.
Bold.
Sports. Do you have one, Miller?
Let's see. I can probably just make one up right here on the spot. I think that the Vikings are finally going to get to the Super Bowl this year. Actually, no, hold that. I think that the winner of the Monday night game between Philly and Minnesota will be the representative of the NFC.
Ooh,
that's bold. That's bold.
That's a bold prediction going into week 2.
Especially with Tampa Bay looking decent. But yeah.
I do agree that, that Philly game,
that's huge.
That mini Philly game is huge for the NFC North.
Yeah, and NFC in general.
NFC in general,
Yep. Playoff positioning could be on the line for that. It's so early in the season, so that's interesting.
And both teams have improved on both sides.
Yeah. Yep. Although big loss for Philly, they lost Barnett, pass rusher, for the season. That's a big blow for them. That's unfortunate. Funny thing, they picked up Janarius Robinson from the Vikings to fill that spot. Oh, funny. Oh, you're playing the Vikings this week, and you're going to acquire a defensive end from their team. For intel, maybe? I don't know. And dirty.
Greasy?
Total grease move.
These two teams haven't been doing business all season. Philly just traded away Jalen Reagor.
Yeah, they probably feel like he's given them some secrets, so they need some inside info. They need to get some back, so that's what they're doing.
I do think Jalen Reagor will have more of an impact in this game. I think Coach O'Connell will give him some more plays.
I believe they'll try and get him a deep ball once in this game. And I hope he catches it just so that he can give the Philly fans the old middle finger.
He's also going to return some punts, I believe.
Yeah, hopefully he does something with that. I don't know. Punts are tough.
But I'm really liking this wide receiver room. Like Reagor, we don't know much about him yet. He was way over the hell in Philly and a few different coaches the last few years.
Yeah.
Now he's with an offensive-minded coach.
Yep.
That's what excites me.
Yeah, well, and he doesn't have to be the guy here, right? Like, he's basically 4th on the totem pole. So that makes it a lot easier to transition, fit in, just fill a role, rather than being dependent on to be like some sort of savior at the wide receiver position, which he is not, clearly.
And for my bold sports prediction, we're going to go to Lambeau Field, where the Bears go 2-0 to start the motherfucking season.
Wow, huge.
Rodgers, I love you, but you might have a shit fit after this one.
I love it. I don't see it happening, but I hope it happens.
It's very bold. That's why I just had to mention it, because it could happen. But yes, chances are slim.
That's what this segment's all about.
So be bold.
Be excellent to each other.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Party on.
Peace.